Good afternoon, all. Camelback Trading 2724 coming to you this Friday afternoon, May 22nd. We're looking at the entire week of the market profile of the SPY ETF here on Window Trader. And just like we said this morning, wasn't expecting much today. We did not get much today. The one thing we did get with the Bulls' absolute failure again, taking out yesterday's low and not even being able to come close to Tuesday's low. And we now have a weekly low with a large gap below us, and we have a weekly high that is poor from Wednesday. The only thing we end up with is a afternoon pullback low in L period. We had a chance for a trend day up, believe it or not. Value was lower than overlapping the lower. Had a chance for a trend day up that did not hold. We were 6 for 6 wide. So now let's go just to today and spread it out to show you what took place here. We had a very, very tight range, only $2.40, and that got extended. We had in the last half hours, we go out with a price probe to the upside. Yep, now these price probes have been rejected pretty good, but we do go out with a price probe to the upside. So we opened, and I said it's going to be a pretty good indication. M period from yesterday and M period from the 19th, right, where we had our weekly low. I said if we get accepted back into M's range, we should go up to get above settlement and go back to POC where we were 11 wide yesterday. He said if we do not and get accepted here, we should travel and test possibly that day's low. Well, that's exactly what happened. We opened, we battled in and out of this M period. We finally got accepted, went down. I didn't do anything there. Market sat there, was trying to push lower, couldn't. All of a sudden, we popped up pretty good, never got to the open, and took a put play there and went right back down. It was just some weak shorts getting out. Now, I had major problems with Charles Schwab's platform today. I actually put an order in to buy in B period, and I wanted to take it out, and it never told me I was out, and almost 3 minutes later, I got an execution. Luckily, it was in my favor, and I got out of it. Spent over an hour on the phone with them. I did not trade most of this day because of that. I started dipping my toe into it again in G and then L period, and it still went down on me a couple of times. So I was very careful, did not do a lot of trading. The one trade that worked out fairly nicely is we took out A's high, and we went higher, and we had a chance for single prints in J period. J went higher, K went high. Now L, when L started, it looked like initially it was going to get inside the initial balance. We fill the single prints and take out K and J and go for an afternoon pullback. That's what I was looking for. However, I took a 20 contract position here, another 20, and another 20 as it drove pretty far up, but gave me a nice chance because I was still pretty confident. We had nothing to lean on at that point. And by that I mean there's no single prints. There's no afternoon pullback low yet. There's no 9 wide. The only thing we had was today's low. And the odds of that, especially when the indices weren't strong at all, you think you should get something. So I wasn't uncomfortable with it, and it paid off. It came in, and I made money on it. M period, I called it to a T, but really didn't do anything. M period opened. It drove down. I said, let's see if it holds L's low. I was looking for it to maybe not, to take out L's low and then to get along and then go back to where it opened and then finally pop the top because the ES had not taken out its overnight high or low to this point, and 97% of the time they do. So even though the indices weren't strong, if they were a lot stronger, I would have been a lot more confident to take a call play. I didn't. Down here, I actually took a small one here, got small out of it, got out of it, and then it finally popped up top, took out K's high, got the overnight for the ES, and we go out with a price probe. So a rough couple of 2 days yesterday, not trading well at all. Today, with Charles Schwab being down, was very frustrating. That depletes your mental reserve as well as poor trading. So I think I called the market pretty well today, but really didn't trade it much because of those issues. All right, let's go over destination. So for the upside, the first one will be today's high of 295.63. Then we have the afternoon rally high from yesterday at 295.82. Remember, we had a trend day yesterday. It's still held. 295.94 gets filled at 296.27. 297.67 daily high and 297.87, which is now a weekly high and a poor high. And if a trend day is to be taken back, it's usually late in the second day or the third. Well, Tuesday would be the third day. For the downside, go out with a price probe, which is K's high, 295.45. We basically close right around it, but we won't know until Monday if it's accepted or not. Afternoon pullback low, 294.25, L's low. Today's low of 293.22, and then this is now a weekly low, 291.95, and then filling that huge gap at 286.33, a 56-point gap. Volume absolutely horrendous, 56 million. We're averaging under 100 million now. So again, before we go to the charts, we put it in the question out there. Here's Monday's huge gap. Bulls, beautiful start to the week. Bears tried to push it down Tuesday, got nothing. Bulls tried to take it up Wednesday, got nothing. And now the last 2 days, they've tried to push it down, the Bears, and have got nothing for their efforts. So we only end 8 wide, but look at these POCs, right? We had 8, 11, 8, 10, I think, 11, 10, and 8. All really within a pretty tight area. And inside month up is holding, but barely. I wouldn't be taking out the party hats because we're only 56 cents above it after 4 days worth. However, with 4 days to go, we'll see if they're going to get something out of it next week. Now, let's go to the charts. Okay. Monthly. 4 days to go in the month. We're totally in balance. We're firmly above the trend line, which is in the 282, 283 level, so we're firmly above that. But we have gotten zero acceleration out of an inside month yet. Usually, that's a pretty good, here's the last one, right? Now, again, we haven't gotten far into this one, but look at this. We never saw it again. So at some point, if the Bulls are going to be serious about this, we got to get out of it and get some distance away from it. I think the level I show you on the daily is the problem for now. Weekly, we come out of a 3-week balance. We do close above it, not by a lot. I mean, I'm still calling it balanced up, but you could certainly call it up if you would like. Remember, everybody's balance, it's everybody's personal preference. This is an art. It's not a science, so everybody's going to be different. I'm going to put it in the camp of let the Bulls really prove it to me. Closing 50 cents above the 3-week balance to me isn't enough to prove it to me, so I'm still calling it balanced to up. But you can certainly call it up. We are, though, firmly above the 287 level right now, which is an incredibly important level to me. And then the daily. 5-day balance. We're above this huge balance. Again, not by a lot, but we are. It's just under a $6 range. $297.87 is the high. $291.95 is the low. The reason I'm saying I think we're having trouble up here in the monthly for the inside month is look what we're coming up to. Very, very visual levels. The 200-day moving average. And more than that, that magical 300 level again in the SPY. And a gap at that level. Not a big one, but it's still a gap. I think those three things have put pretty much a ceiling right now on the Bulls. Do I think we're going to get it? I still do think we're going to get it. I think the important thing is, what do we get above it? Are we going to get above this balance and this whole balance above the 200 and start getting some acceleration? I'll tell you what, above this gap, there's not much up here until the 308. Well, we have a daily high up at 308 and change, and then we really don't get into anything into the mid-teens, 313 and change, which is incredible. But the Bulls are going to have to get some more reinforcements to get them over the top. On the flip side, the Bears are saying, hey, inside month up, they've gotten nothing out of it until they prove to us that they get accepted above here. They're really not in charge, but the Bears have a huge gap to fill if that's the case. We'll see how it transpires. Have a great holiday weekend. Be safe. Come check us out at camelbacktrading.org. Great room, great bunch of traders. It's a lot of fun. And I'll speak to you guys prior to the opening on Tuesday.